Do you feel like in this game that the margin of victory should have been wider? Did it feel like you guys were a lot more ahead than you were when you looked at the score last, 30 seconds of the game? As far as that.
We were up 17 with 1:42 to go, and we end up, I believe, winning by 8. That is really frustrating to a coach. And you put some people in, some of your maybe inexperienced players and some of your younger players in, and hope that when you're up 17, 18 points, that you're not going to give up a lead. And it's amazing how quickly, if you don't defend, if you don't get out and do the things defensively and handle the basketball and make good decisions, how quickly that lead. You look at it, 10 points. They scored 10 points just like that. Cut the deficit. But that's frustrating. And it was an ugly game. It was a sloppy game by really both teams. Yes, we came away with the win, but we're fortunate we got that lead. Now, I thought our starters the second half, for the most part, did a pretty good job. I thought Haley came in off the bench and gave us, it was a nice spark. Finally got her shot going. I thought Dee and Chris had some nice high-low situations. But you got to be able to play also when they're not in the game.
Dee and Chris each had 15 points, and you've mentioned the high-low game a couple of times in recent games. Is that something you've been stressing more and more down the stretch of this season?
Yeah, actually, since we feel like with each game we're hoping that Delisha progresses, and that's a big part of our game, and Chris and Dee work so well together. Yeah, the thing is, Delisha's got to stay out of foul trouble. She picked up her second foul with 10 minutes to go in the game, in the first half, rather. And generally, we have a rule that we're going to sit players unless the game starts getting out of hand or something and we need them. But for the most part, I'm going to sit somebody if they have two fouls. Right now, she's a little bit foul prone. But our high-low game, when we're patient, is good. We're just not always patient.
You started out in the first half, held them to 12.9% shooting, 4 for 31. How much of that was a result of they just had a cold start to the game, and how much was a result of you guys having a strong defensive effort early on?
Oh, I thought we played absolutely very good defense first half. We were on point. I mean, Lisa, who did the scouting report, had them prepared for every play that they were going to run. But the biggest difference here is that in the first half, they're on our girls on our end playing defense. So I can help them through it, and Lisa can help them through it. You can say, hey, drop, look to double, look to, watch the cutter, things you can say, be ready, you're a helper, that type of thing. So the second half, they got figured out. They're down the other end. We call the offense down at our end the second half.
You mentioned Haley giving you the lift in the second half. 12 of her 16 points came after halftime. Did you make any adjustment at halftime or say anything to her that helped her sort of get loose a little in the second half?
We just talked about her going back door and looking for her back door. We actually had a play call where we hit her on the back door, but shot went in and out, and she was frustrated there. But she finally, I think today, she hit a couple shots and her confidence was there. Then she hit a couple more shots, so she felt, she kind of in practice the last couple of days hasn't really been looking to shoot the basketball. And that's unlike Haley. She's been playing, I think, maybe a little bit not to make mistakes, not to miss shots. So I think it helped the fact that she hit some shots and found her groove a little bit, because bottom line is Haley needs to be on the floor for us, because we didn't get these last two games, we didn't get anything from Raquel Christian.
Last time you played Tulsa, Samantha Mahnesmith got loose for 6 3-pointers. Tonight she had 2. What were they doing differently on the defensive end to try to reduce her shots or to give her bad looks?
Playing man. They played a lot more man today. Matched up, and they got out and just extended their wing denial.
Well, you have 5 more games. You have Memphis, Rice, 2 potential really hard games for you, and I think
ECU is going to be very difficult. That's our next game, and it's at ECU. Mm-hmm. Quite honestly, we got a couple of what I call explosive teams. Memphis, ECU's been playing, who's been scoring a lot of points. Right now, I'm a little concerned the fact that we're not putting a whole lot of points up today. To me, this was a game that we should have been in the 70s. And may have been if I kept our starters in longer and that, but bottom line is you got to be able to try and rotate the minutes a little bit to kind of keep your legs fresh. But I haven't looked past ECU. I just know that ECU last game scored 91 points, and they're playing pretty good basketball right now.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Were you looking at the stretch, or were you just still taking it just?
I will take a game. I couldn't even tell you really. The only reason I know who's after ECU is because it's our Pink Zone game on UAB. Pack the house. Mm-hmm. The Pink Zone game on the 20th against UAB. Mm-hmm. So that's been something that they've been. It's our sellout game for the. That's our game for the year.